What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. I saw The Shape of Water. The Shape of Water is the latest film from director Guillermo Del Toro. I like his films, but I didn't watch Crimson Peak. A little bit too scary for me, but I really enjoyed Hellboy 1 and 2, Blade 2, Mimic, Pacific Rim, and also Pan's Labyrinth. The Shape of Water is a lot like Pan's Labyrinth, where it is a much smaller film, but it's more like a fairy tale. It's not based off of any comic book like Hellboy or Blade. It's also not about big hulking giant robots like Pacific Rim. This is something that is a little bit more original. Definitely more original. I wouldn't say that it's completely original because it does take inspirations from films like The Creature from the Black Lagoon and also Beauty and the Beast, because that's exactly what it is. You take The Creature from the Black Lagoon and then you put it in the story of Beauty and the Beast. You wrap it in a 1960s Cold War era time period, and this is what you have. The Shape of Water. Now, I thought this was a very interesting film just because this is not an action movie. It's definitely a fantasy film, but it's not like a big budget, you know, monster movie. It is a monster movie, but there really is only one monster in this film. Well, two monsters if you think of Michael Shannon, the antagonist, as a monster. In some ways, he is a monster. But that's kind of the theme of this film, which I really, really like. There's like a deeper theme in here, and that is about, are we really humans if we treat things this way? Because you got to think of 1960s Cold War era, America versus Russians, and they see this thing, and it's the unknown. They don't have much compassion for it. They just think of it as, this is something that, you know, we either kill it or we learn more about it by prodding it, or we learn to love it and accept it. So that's essentially what this movie's about. Now, what I love about this film is just, it's such a watchable film because of the actors. Sally Hawkins as this mute janitor. She works in this, she's a janitor in this facility where they do research, where they essentially do research on this monster played by Doug Jones. Now, Doug Jones puts on a great performance as this monster because, like, he's no stranger to this type of performance. He was Abe Sapien in both Hellboy films, so he's the perfect actor for this type of film. Michael Shannon plays the antagonist, the other monster, the one that wants to kill this monster, while Sally Hawkins wants to protect it. She wants to, with all her heart, try to save this monster. And Michael Shannon just is so good at playing this type of character. He plays the bad guy that you just love to hate. He's so evil in this film. He's expressionless. He's cold. He's just always yelling, and he's just a scary person to be around. And he just portrays that character so well. And we've seen him play this type of character many times in other films, and he's kind of being typecasted, but he's just so good at it. So I'm just thinking that, you know what, he's perfect for this role, and it's because he keeps on playing the same type of character in every single film that he's in. So he does a great job with his performance, and he makes the antagonist element so much more intimidating. So that's really, really great. Sally Hawkins plays this character with a lot of heart. She's a mute janitor, and it's just like you feel so much passion and heart and emotion with her character, because even though she's not able to talk, she's just able to desperately tell everybody that she's trying to communicate with that she wants to save this monster. And you know, it really makes you fall in love with her character more. You know, I actually had the pleasure of actually chatting with someone who's mute about movies. And then I had a translator help translate it for us, but I just felt so much respect and also just compassion for this type of person. And once I saw this happen, it really you know, I felt that. It was a very heartfelt feeling when she was just desperately trying to communicate her you know, what she wanted to do. So that was really, really great. I really like the story. It's a Beauty and the Beast story. You know, it takes place during a very unique time period in our lives. I mean, some of us didn't experience it. I didn't experience it, the Cold War, but it's still a very, very interesting time when you know, it was during the Cold War, which was a war fought with spies, and there's a lot of spy stuff going on there, and I think it really adds just a really unique detail into a film like this. So it definitely adds a lot to the story. What can I say? It's a simple story. It's a film that that I think is quite unique, just for the fact that this is a film coming from Guillermo Del Toro, who's given us some really over-the-top movies, but he keeps it really, really simple, but he still brings his passion and love for creature features, like creatures in film. And he does that by basically having his own little take on, I guess, Beauty and the Beast and The Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is a film that he really, really loves. So that is something that he does in a really, really great way. This is a film that's from beginning to end is just engaging, because I think the simplicity of this film really keeps you engaged, because you're just watching these great performances, and you're watching, you know, you're watching this creature movie, and how is this creature going to survive? How is this creature going to be saved? And how are they going to escape from this evil place? You know what I'm saying? And so I really, really enjoyed this film, and I think this is one of the better films that I've seen this year. I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. I might even say that this is the best film that Guillermo Del Toro has directed. A lot of the films that he's directed is more like fun films, you know, like Pacific Rim and Blade 2 and the Hellboy films. This is something very, very different, but you definitely can tell that this is something that he directed with a lot of heart and with a lot of passion, and it's kind of like a passion project for him. So I'm glad he made a film like this, and I'm glad to have watched it. 8.5 out of 10. I highly recommend this film. Watch it with an open mind. It's definitely a fairy tale, but more for adults, because there's a lot of, like, you know, adult content and adult situations, and just the subject matter alone is, you know, it's very, very mature. But I like this take on this genre. It's very, very unique. 8.5 out of 10. Recommend it. Watch it with an open mind. And as always, if you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name's Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.